Yes, I'm talking to you. Welcome back to another episode of Juice Made TV, where we talk about college sports, NBA, high school, all that. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, join the Juice Made family. We're so close to 30K. But like I said, very interesting video to talk about today. But you guys know, bro, typically, or at least so far during the college basketball season, guys like Bronny James, the Robert Dillinghams, the Shepards, the DJ Wagners, I feel like those guys have easily been the most highlighted, most watched type of freshmen so far in college basketball. But I definitely feel like a lot of people don't really pay attention to the other players that are also freshmen in college basketball right now. I don't really see too many channels or people even give any type of attention to all the other great freshmen that are in college right now. And I really don't know why people just continue to tell me that this draft class is weak. I understand that there might not be a crazy superstar #1 pick or a consensus #1 pick in this draft, but to me that kind of tells you that this class is a little bit different than most. And although they might not have a generational talent that we are essentially talking about right now, like I've been saying in past videos, this draft class definitely has a lot of depth and also a bunch of players that I do think is going to have long careers in the NBA. So in this video, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the top freshmen in college basketball right now. We're going to talk about some sleepers. We're going to talk about the players that you guys care about, some players that I feel like are underrated, overrated. Please let me know if you guys agree with my list down below with the tiers. Subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 30K. Like the video. Let's get straight into this video. So guys, boom, let's go and get straight into this video. And the first freshman that I do want to talk about in this video is going to be this man, Robert Dillingham. Guys, you guys already know how I feel about this man, Robert Dillingham, Rog with the shifts, arguably the most unguardable player that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm pretty sure to most, he's easily the most exciting and most entertaining freshman to watch in college right now. As you can see here, he's currently averaging around 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists on crazy efficiency, 47% from the field, and also 44% from three. Guys, you guys know, bro, any player that typically has a play style like Robert Dillingham, who's herky-jerky, dribbles as much as he does, can get to the rim, do what he usually does. I feel like to most, those type of players typically don't translate well to college, let alone going to a team orchestrated type of program like Kentucky. And Robert Dillingham has easily been one of the best freshmen so far in college, and he's definitely shutting down all the critics, all the naysayers. And there's a reason why his draft stock is continuing to rise every single game, and he's now projected to be a projected lottery pick in the 24 draft. If I had to put Robert Dillingham in the tiers, man, Robert Dillingham is easily an S tier freshman so far. Now, the second player that I want to highlight in this video is definitely Cody Williams. As you can see, currently he's averaging around 15 points and 4 rebounds as I'm recording this video. It's kind of crazy to see just how far he's came to now being a projected top 4 pick in the 24 draft. And I feel like when you first watch him play, the first thing that you really notice is definitely his feel for the game, his fluidity, his consistency from 3-point range. In my personal opinion, I definitely see a lot of Bradley Beal in Cody Williams' game, and I think if he can just continue to improve on his handle, become more of a threat from a shot creation standpoint, and also his ability to play make, I definitely think Cody Williams is easily going to be one of the best players to come out of this draft. Cody Williams is definitely a player that we have to keep our eyes on. As you can see here, this kid is literally the projected #1 pick in the 24 draft, according to NBADraftNet.com. And for those who also don't know, this is actually the younger brother of OKC's rising star, Mr. Jalen Williams, who's super underrated in the league. And I'm telling you guys right now, bro, the OKC Thunder, bro, do not be surprised if they win the title. But as far as this man, Cody Williams, I feel like to most, Cody is really not going to strike you as a #1 overall pick in any type of draft. But I feel like if you tie in his length, his height, his ability to get to the rim, his ability to be his size and also be able to play make and get to the basket with ease, and just overall, the more that you watch this kid play, you can kind of see why a lot of NBA scouts are very high on him. For me personally, if he can just continue to improve on his overall strength and also becoming more of a threat from 3-point range, just shooting a lot more of those threes. I think right now he's only averaging like 2 or something like that, but if he can just improve in those aspects, then I think he can definitely be a for sure top 3 pick in this up and coming draft. Now, Kanan Carlile is definitely another freshman that we have to keep our eyes on. His story is a little bit different just because we've only seen him play in about 4 games as I'm recording this video. I know right now he's only averaging around 13 points and 4 rebounds and 1 assist, but this is a player that you don't want to completely judge just by looking at his stats. I mean, really, the way this kid looked whenever he played against Arizona, a top 10 team, and completely shut that team down, outplaying Caleb Love, one of the top shooting guards in college basketball. I feel like like Kanan Carlile definitely made his presence known in that game to be one of the top freshmen in the country. And I know right now he's not the biggest name out there. He's not on really any type of NBA mock drafts. I'm telling you guys right now, if he continues to just play like how he's been playing so far in his early season with only 4 games, this kid is definitely going to be a first or second round pick in the 24 draft, but definitely one of the top freshmen and super underrated. Now, Isaiah Kohler is another freshman that I feel like we have to highlight in this video. I know a lot of people have a lot to say about Isaiah Kohler, but if you want me to be completely honest, I kind of feel like the expectations was probably just a little bit too high for Isaiah Kohler, but then again, he did finish his high school career as the #1 player in this specific class, so the expectations is definitely going to follow. But I just feel like with the way that this USC team is constructed, it's really not built for success for this man Isaiah Kohler. And I know a lot of people want to bring up the turnovers and him getting blocked all the time whenever he attacks the rim. In retrospect, if you actually watch him, he's really not playing terrible. He's really not even playing that bad. His numbers are still good. He's really shooting efficient from the field as well. I just think whenever people see the turnover rate and also the fact that USC is really not winning too many games, it kind of paints the picture that Isaiah Kohler is not having too good of a season. Like I said, I think just the expectations with him being the #1 player, a lot of people thought that USC and also Isaiah Kohler would be playing a lot better. In my opinion, I would definitely put him in that B tier category so far this season. And at least to me, he's still going to be a top 5 to 10 pick in this draft. Now, Jackson Shelstad is another freshman that we have to highlight in this video. As you can see here, he's currently averaging around 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Very, very efficient as an undersized guard, shooting 50% from the field and 41% from 3. Guys, you already know, if you're an undersized guard and you want to have a chance to make it to the NBA, you have to be able to shoot the rock. And I feel like that's definitely something that he's doing so far for Oregon. And if you guys had a chance to see him in those rivalry games against USC and also against UCLA, he finished with over 20 points in each of those games. Like I mentioned, I know a lot of people are going to have questions on if he's actually good enough to make it to the league. A lot of people really compare this kid to like a Peyton Pritchard type of player for the Boston Celtics. I actually can kind of see that, but if Jackson can continue to just shoot the rock like how he's been doing, help Oregon make it to that March Madness tournament, also show his defensive ability, I definitely think that he potentially can get a chance in the league, but it's really going to be a long shot. So guys, this kid Malik Mack from Harvard University, bro, I don't want to ever hear that players from Harvard, they're just good at school, they're just good at math. Bro, this kid Malik Mack from Harvard University, bro, this kid is special. And I still remember the first time that I had a chance to watch this kid play. I think I seen Frankie Visions on Instagram posting this kid on their page. And the moment I saw this kid play, I knew this kid was actually legit. There's a reason why he's a top 20 overall scorer in the entire nation. As you can see here, he's currently averaging 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists on crazy efficiency, 47% from 3, bro. And that's not by accident, especially with the amount of games that he's been playing so far this season, bro. I think very similar to Jackson Shelstad, he's going to have to approach making it to the NBA in a very similar way. If Malik Mack can continue to do both of those things, help Harvard actually make it to the March Madness tournament, have a breakout game, and if he does end up going and playing in the combine, I definitely think that he potentially could get a chance to play in the NBA, but definitely a freshman to highlight in this video. So obviously Bronny James is a player that we have to highlight in this video. I think right now I'll definitely put Bronny James in that B to C tier if we're going to put him on that tier list. I don't think Bronny James is having an exceptional season right now, and I don't think he's having a completely terrible season, or at least so far in the minimal games that we've seen him play, while also being in a minutes restriction. I know right now his biggest game to date is definitely that 15-point performance that he had against Oregon State. To me, he looked very, very solid, but this is the type of game that you're going to see from Bronny. One game he's going to drop 3 points, the next game he could potentially drop 12 points, the next game he's going to drop 6. So you guys already know how I feel about Bronny. I definitely think that the talent is there. It's really just going to come down to how he personally wants to play that game. Does he want to be passive, or does he want to be a little bit more aggressive? I think playing with a guy like an Isaiah Kohler, who's a very ball dominant player, I'm not sure if they can really coexist, but I do think Bronny James does a good job at showcasing and displaying his game in multiple areas, not just scoring the ball. But as far as his NBA projection, I would definitely put him somewhere in that first round for an NBA team taking a chance on him. Now, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I don't know if I know how to say this kid's name, but I'm gonna give it a try. This kid goes by the name of Milan Mkovic. Guys, I'm telling you right now, bro, I've been keeping up with this kid so far this entire season, and please believe me when I tell you that this kid is easily, bro, easily top 3 most underrated players in the entire nation. I have no idea how he's in no draft boards, but right now he's averaging around 14 points, 3 rebounds, 50% shooting from the field for Iowa State. And just, if you really take a look at this kid's game, bro, this kid has an insane mid-range game. I was actually keeping up with this kid whenever he was in high school as well. He finished as a top 100 player in the 23 class. I already know once Iowa State makes it to that March Madness tournament, whenever they do play in those big time games, I know a lot of NBA scouts and fans are definitely going to have this kid in their notes, but please, please, please hop on the bandwagon now, bro. This kid, Milan Mkovic, hopefully I'm saying his name right, bro. This kid gets your attention. Now, DJ Wagner is another player that we have to highlight in this video. I would definitely say that DJ had a slow start in the beginning of the season, but he's definitely starting to pick it up as the season goes along. At least for me, it's kind of hard to judge him just because he is playing with so much talent for this Kentucky team. And I've always wondered just how would DJ Wagner look on a different type of team if he pretty much had the green light to shoot as many shots as he wanted to shoot. But he was definitely a player that was projected to be a top 3 to 5 pick in this draft. I think right now his draft stock has continued to just fall each and every game. I'm not sure how, but I personally think that talent is definitely still there. I think he just needs to just get accustomed to the college game, the physicality, improve on his overall shooting ability. There's a lot of great things that I feel like DJ Wagner does that does not show up on the stat sheet, especially on the defense side of the ball. His rim penetration to be able to allow his bigs to get offensive rebounds and attacking the rim. So there's a lot of good things that DJ Wagner does, but right now I'll definitely put DJ in that B this year on that tier list. Now, Reed Shepard is another player that we have to talk about in this video. Easily an S tier type of player. He's definitely been one of the most exciting freshmen to watch so far in college. Generally, I still have no idea how he's really not even in the top 10s of people's mock drafts. I really do think people overlook his ability to shoot the rock and also his toughness out there on the floor. And there's really so many great things that Reed Shepard does. You can definitely argue that he's the best player on this Kentucky team, despite having Robert Dillingham, DJ Wagner, and all those other big time freshmen. But Reed Shepard has definitely been super consistent. I mean, I feel like the stats will tell you everything. Shooting over 50% in both categories, close to 60% from 3. This kid definitely has to be somewhere in the league. I've continued to tell you guys, this kid reminds me of another Davion Mitchell type of player. But Reed Shepard definitely in that S tier, and also one of the best freshmen in college basketball. Now, Jared McCain is another player that we have to highlight. I think very similar to DJ Wagner, he had a pretty slow start at the beginning of the season, but as you can see from these stats here, he's continued to improve each and every game. I believe he's averaging around 18 and 19 points in his last 4 games as well. I know a lot of people definitely have things to say with him painting his nails, but bro, this kid's literally painting his nails. He's literally killing everybody out there on the floor. So who cares, bro? Let this kid do what he wants to do. But at the end of the day, Jared McCain, I definitely think that he's showcasing that he can be a legit NBA player, especially with his shooting ability. Kind of reminds me of a Reed Shepard. But Jared McCain, I definitely think he's having a B tier season in this specific moment in time. But yeah, guys, those were the main freshmen that I feel like you guys definitely should be keeping an eye on. I know some of these guys are having great seasons. Some of these guys are having bad seasons. Let me know down below if you guys agree with my list and my reasonings for these players. And also let me know down below, who do you personally feel like is the best freshman in college basketball? And I'll see you guys in the next one.